Hello guys, let's start with another problem which is known as find the difference. Okay, what is given to us? We are given with two strings S and T such that string T is generated by random shuffling of string S characters and then added one more letter at a random position. Okay, we have to return that one more added letter that was added to T which is not present in S, which is not present in S added to T. We are given some examples. Let's take our first example. Guys, what could be our approach? What could be our approach? First tell me that. Basic approach, guys, we can make a frequency array in which we'll store frequency of each and every character or present in string S, and we can make another frequency array for string T in which each and every character of T frequencies would be stored in another frequency F2. We can compare both of them, and at last which of the one doesn't match, we'll return that character. That's it. That's it, guys. Do you think this is the optimized approach? Do you think that we need two frequency arrays? Think about it, guys. We can do this problem, we can solve this problem while using one frequency array only. How? Using a frequency array, we'll store frequency of each and every character present in string S. Then we'll loop around string T and we'll remove. As soon as we'll get the character from string T, we'll remove one by one, or we reduce one by one the frequency of the characters which we are getting from string T. At last, in the particular loop, we'll check whether the frequency of that particular character is less than 0 or not. If it is less than 0, then we'll return that particular character. Otherwise, at last of the loop, we can return space, or yeah, we can return a space character. Got it? Very simple logic. Let's try to solve this using our example. So let's take a frequency array. In that, for A, B, C, D, E, F, till only this we'll need, na? What is the frequency of A in string S? That is 1. What is the frequency of B? That is 1. What is the frequency of C? That is 1. What is the frequency of D? That is 1. What is the frequency of E? That is 0. What is the frequency of F? That is 0. Got it? We'll, while traversing through F, while traversing through S, right? What about while traversing through F? What we'll do? We'll reduce the count. Traversing through T string, we'll reduce the count. So what would be the frequency when we'll get to first character, that is 0 place, 0th index, that is A, it would become 0. At B also it will decrease, it would become 0. At C it would decrease, it would become 0. At D it would decrease, it would become 0. What about E, guys? It is already 0. If we'll decrease, what it becomes? It becomes -1. Less than 0. We have to compare also, na? If it is less than 0, we have to compare if it is less than 0. So we'll return E. Got it? Very simple. Let's try to implement our logic. So first of all, let's try to take out the length of string s and string t. Now let's make a frequency array of size 26. Why I am taking 26? Because in the constraint it is clearly written that we are that in s and t, in this question, s and t only consist of lowercase, sorry, s and t only consist of lowercase and upper, only consist of lowercase. Got it? So that's why 26 size of the frequency array. Let's try to traverse through the string s of size n1. Let's fill our frequency array. So how we'll fill our frequency array? First we'll take out each and every character at the index I, convert it into index form by minusing it with character A, small a, then incrementing our frequency array at that particular index P. The same we have to do while traversing through string T of size n2, such that instead of increasing the size of the frequency, we have to decrease the size of the frequency. So char c is equals to t dot char at I int p, that is the index of frequency array for that particular character, and here we have to decrease the frequency of that particular character from the frequency array. And at last we have to check whether the frequency of that particular character is less than 0 or not. If it is, then we'll return character at that particular frequency. So it would be p plus character small a. As we have got the index in the reverse order, we'll get the array, we'll get the character. At last, if nothing is present, which is impossible here in this question, then we'll return space character. So guys, what we are doing, we are first of all taking out the length of both string and storing it into variables n1 and n2. Then we are making a frequency array of size 26 because our s and t strings consist of only lowercase letters. Then we are traversing through string s using a for loop, and we are filling our frequency array. Okay, in the second case, we are traversing through string t using for loop. Instead of filling, we are deleting from our frequency array. And if at a particular index our frequency array becomes less than 0, that is -1, because only one character is extra in string t, so it will actually become -1. So instead of writing less than 0, if I'll write -1, then also it will work fine. Okay, so see, if it is equals to -1, then we return the character at that particular index. Otherwise, at last we can return space if we do not find any character which is extra in t, which is impossible or tends to impossible. Let's try to run it. Yeah, it is working absolutely fine. Let's try to submit it. Yeah, it is submitting absolutely fine. Guys, here in this case, my less than 0 will also work. Let's try to submit it. Yeah, it is submitting absolutely fine. So guys, what could be our time and space complexity? As you can clearly see, our time complexity is big O of n plus big O of n, because we are using two for loops to traverse through string s and t respectively. So big O of n plus big O of n, what it would be? Big O of n only. And what about the space complexity? Guys, as you can clearly see, space complexity is constant. Okay, because we are making one frequency array of size 26. It's not a big deal. In the constant, you can see the size of the string can vary from 0 to 1000. So 26 is very less as compared to the 1000 size. Okay, so that's it. See you guys. Bye bye.